What's up, everyone? We are here in Charlotte, North Carolina, following these epic Friday games. This is an all-new episode of One-on-Ones with Mike and Paul. We've got a few fans here to ask us questions live following our excitement around how well that went last week in Albany, New York. We want to do as many of those as we can this season. So without further ado, I know it's late. Let's get the fans.
Bring them in.
All right, we have Maddie. Maddie, where are you from?
I'm from Charlotte.
From Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay.
Hometown.
So a home game.
Yes, yeah, home game. I used to be a Bayhawks fan though back in the day. ML.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you play lacrosse?
I did. I played at Elon University.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Maryland but moved to Charlotte, so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one of our cousins went to Elon, I believe, right?
Yeah, someone. Elon's great.
Elon's fantastic school.
Yeah.
What question do you have for us?
How do you guys think that lacrosse being in the Olympics is going to impact the game for men and women?
Well, I think it's going to be huge. If you look at the last several Olympic Games, about 3 billion people around the world watch them. To put that in perspective, that's over 30 Super Bowls of viewership. And those in America know how people get behind the Super Bowl and the exposure that a Super Bowl brings, whether it's advertisement or the game itself or personalities. And to have that exposure to lacrosse for the first time in over 100 years is going to elevate the game, not only in its awareness, but I think of the excitement around it, and a league like the PLL can really benefit. I think that the version of the game, sixes lacrosse, is really great for this sport because it puts the men's and women's rule book in parallel. And I think that's something that many of us have yearned for. You know, the two games are played differently, and we've talked about the history of why on this show, but seeing sixes action and mirroring rules was not only a requisite of getting the game in the Olympics, but it's going to take the game to the next level.
I mean, the sixes action for me, like Paul said, in the mirrored rules, I think are going to make the game more digestible for the casual fan, and there will be more casual fans because it's in the Olympics. And I think it's also it's more approachable playing at the youth level, so I think you'll see a jump in participation. There's also, more local money that's unlocked globally with getting to the Olympics with the IOC. So our big thing is obviously you have to push a national audience, broad exposure. We always say no one wakes up in the morning and is like, I need a new sport to follow. So if it can drive more participation, then we have to do our job of working with U.S. lacrosse and world lacrosse to matriculate them into long-term PLL fans. So, our work's cut out for us. We're obviously pumped like Paul talked about, but now we got to really build a process around them and create lifelong fans like you. I'm interested in how you became a lifelong fan. Is it just because you played in college or growing up in Maryland, or why do you still pay attention?
My dad played lacrosse, and so he got me into it. I started playing when I was 4, so I've been playing my whole life. So I've just followed it as it's continued to grow. It's been really cool to watch.
Where did your dad play?
He played at Hampton-Sydney.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Iconic.
Yeah.
Lacrosse program.
Yeah, he grew up playing with the old school stick.
Yeah.
There's no pocket.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you, Maddie.
Thank you so much, Maddie. Thanks for
Yeah.
staying late with us.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you.
Dylan.
How you doing, guys?
We got Dylan. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Decked out in Carolina Chaos gear. We love it.
It's a
Love
home
to see
team.
it. Who you got on the back?
Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith. Oh,
Yeah.
the throwback.
Smithers.
Yeah, I miss
Yeah.
him so much, man. It was so different not having him out
He's
here.
smooth. He's smooth.
He's nasty.
He's good.
Good dude.
It's
Yeah.
good.
What do you got for us?
So I'm from Gastonia. It's about 20 minutes from here, and there's no lacrosse in the entire county. So I was wondering what bringing Chaos to Carolina can help grow the sport, and what ways the PLL in general can help grow the sport in areas that don't have lacrosse.
Yeah, I think you want to go first?
No, go.
I think from an exposure standpoint, when you bring a professional organization into a market, it creates awareness and buzz and excitement, and people are going to try what they see. So that's part one. The second is what we are continuing to analyze and try and attempt to resource in the next several years as we head into the Olympics is take a closer look at high school sanctioning across all 50 states. Right now there's only 25 states that have officially sanctioned lacrosse, meaning you can wear your letter jacket and compete for a state championship.
Wow.
So how do we get from 25 to 50?
Yeah.
A lot of that is awareness. A lot of it is investment. A lot of it is lobbying on Capitol Hill. And so we're putting our heads together. I think it will have a significant impact on the PLL, on Olympic lacrosse, on the game at large, the more states invest in youth all the way up to high school lacrosse.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul hit 2 macro points. I'd say a micro, honestly, is finding really good coaches and people who are ambassadors in their local communities that want to just like drive and potentially even build programs with us. So one of the things we're going to be doing is trying to find more local operating partners is what we're calling them. Obviously making sure we get to know you get to know us, and building programs around people in their community. I mean, number one thing we hear from some of our youth programs and a lot of kids who play is they stop playing because they don't have great coaching or great mentorship. And you know, it's hard because a lot of parents are working, and so they can't do it. So finding people who want to grow the game, who are passionate about it, who maybe have some time to coach, is something that we want to think about investing around. And then you'd be surprised how fast it can grow. Yeah. You know, there's a reason why Utah lacrosse has grown so fast. It's not just because the Utah Utes are there, but it's because of the Holmans built clubs, stuff that like Will Manny and some of those things, some of the stuff we're doing with the junior Utah Archers. Like, you can build it really quickly, and the game's addictive. Yeah. Once you start playing, people love it. And just like talking about some of the sixes play, it's becoming more approachable. We're here to do that. And, you know, start with people like you, Dylan.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I would just add coaches. You know, the game's highly technical. It requires a lot of skill. So like hockey and golf, there's more turnover in those sports and lacrosse. So you have to have a great coach that can teach you how to catch and throw and scoop. That way you hang on. And so investing in coaches, especially in emerging markets, is also really important and incumbent on us and other organizations.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because coaching is what I want to go into as my career, as far as just any kinds of sports and stuff. And trying to learn lacrosse and be able to coach it in my area is something I'd like to do as well.
Oh, amazing, man.
Coaching's so critical. Yeah. Being able to instruct and then having the compassion and empathy and the motivational skill set to bring to your team.
It's important.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get caught with a bad coach and then turn over, quit.
Yeah.
Right? So we need more great coaches.
I agree.
Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
See you tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Go Chaos.
Go Chaos. Yeah.
Gotcha. Todd. Hey. Todd, where are you from, man? Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, what you got for us? So, two-part question here. Want to see what you guys thought of the Carolina Chaos crowd, and then, 2 weeks in, the homecoming weekends, just kind of how has the homecoming weekends met your guys' expectations to what you thought after signing with Headless?
Yeah, well, we were just talking about before you sat down, Todd, that we want to talk about the Red Legion because we thought it was a great environment for the Chaos's first home game of 2. And I think from the win-loss standpoint thus far, New York went 2-0. I know Carolina's going to hope to do the same. I've said it before, but odds makers, when you look at an NFL game, the home team gets 3 points, and I think that as the teams continue to work their way into markets and fans come out and support their home team, that gives you an advantage. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I was really excited, and I love Charlotte. I love playing in Carolina. Our family's from Winston-Salem, and to see the turnout was pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah, the turnout was amazing. The energy was amazing. The entire stadium was rooted. Basically, there's a small pocket for the Redwoods. The entire stadium was rooting for the Chaos. I started thinking about the human psychology behind it around. I mean, I got to be honest. It's part of the show is transparency. The Red Legion, it was a lot louder than it was in Albany, New York. Yeah. And I started thinking about the psychology. I started asking people that are from here. I was like, is there something in the water? Like, are Carolina sports fans louder? Are they more passionate? And I'm not knocking on New York fans. They're some of the best lacrosse fans, but like, it was just loud. Tomorrow night's going to be even bigger. So I was going deep on just trying to understand the psychology of where the Carolina, South Carolina, particularly Charlotte, like what is it about sports fans here that makes them so rabid and bought in right away first year with you?
Well, I'd also add that I wonder if New York Atlas first home game was at Hofstra. You had an incubated fan base previously with the New York Lizards. Have to mention the Charlotte Hounds used to play right here, and the Red Legion. A lot of it was a composition of fans. Start. I think so. Yeah. I think so. But then they still rallied around new colors. The Charlotte Hounds here with blue, so seeing all the red was great.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think?
No, it was a great atmosphere. I think the fan turnout for the game was probably exceeded my expectations for this third year of Charlotte about you guys, and it was a great atmosphere, and fans really bugged today.
And he made a good point too. California Redwoods is our fan favorite. They have been over the last 3 years. So to have that disproportionate turnout of the former most popular team in the league without cities also said something.
Well, I think that seeing the last couple years as well, just the shift towards everyone cheering for the Chaos, as opposed to their individual teams was significant this year.
Yeah.
I don't think that could be understated.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you, brother.
Man,
Thank you.
thanks, man.
See
Appreciate
you
it.
tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good man.
Hell yeah.
All right, we got Brennan O'Neill. Amazing game. 9 points. You have 9 points. And like 7 in the fourth quarter. How's it feel, man? How you holding up?
Good. A little sore, but we got 2 weeks. And that was going through our heads all the time. We got 2 weeks after this. Just go hard. And when we were down by 7, just keep playing no matter what. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, because you guys have a bye in Philly, so you're not playing in Philly, and then the league-wide bye thereafter. So this was a huge one. You didn't want to start 0-2.
No, yeah, you don't want to go to a break with 2 losses on your record.
Yeah. How's the acclimation been for you, week 1 to week 2?
It's just figuring things out. New group of guys, obviously, so you got to learn each other's tendencies, and that helps you create space. Once you know what your guy likes to do, your teammate likes to do, it allows you to move a little faster, and when you move faster, more goals go in. So.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. When you're back in New York, or are you down in Durham right now, mostly?
I'll be back in Durham, yeah.
What type of shooting routines are you doing on your own? You're pouring out a bag of balls and taking shots on net.
I don't have a script really. I just try to do things that I think is going to happen in a game. So obviously I like to sweep over the top. So I'm going to take a lot of those shots. Obviously I like to have that lefty wing step down. So I'm going to take a lot of shots there. It's just, and then once I feel good, I just stop. So I just take as many shots until I feel like I'm dialed in and go from there.
At what point in the fourth quarter did you feel like you were in the zone? Because I know you were in the zone. You said it was a flow state, but what got you there?
Yeah, I mean, Myers hit a great through look, and my foot was on the line on that one shot, and the net just looked big, and I shot it, and it went in. The next time I just pulled one again, hit a 2-pointer, and from there it was just kind of like, you just stop really thinking and just start shooting.
Yeah, and I know you play out of the midfield. It's a natural position at attack. You were the MVP of the World Games last summer out of the midfield, so you're not scared of that. But attack feels more like home to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think just my whole life I played attack, and obviously you get in a groove when you're on attack because you're playing every possession.
Yeah.
So I love dodging from the midfield. I think in ways I'm better dodging from the midfield than attack, but I think anybody can say if you play attack, you get into a groove because you're touching the ball more and stuff like that. So it's different, but they're both, I think they suit me both pretty well.
Yeah. And talk about the guys, especially the leadership for the Denver Outlaws. If you think about a guy like Mike Manley, who's a Duke guy, JT Giles Harris, and even Jesse Bernhardt's a Maryland guy, but playing with your former mate Zawada, what's the culture of this locker room? What's leadership like?
Oh, that's awesome. And obviously when we arrived on Albany, I already knew, I didn't really know Halsey that well.
Yeah.
Manley, I had met a couple times, but you instantly have something in common because you both came from the same place. So right from off the bat, you're just comfortable around them. And they've helped me tremendously, but not just them, it's everyone. Everyone just being good dudes allows you to be yourself. Which when I'm myself, I feel comfortable on the field and off the field, so it's good.
Yeah. So I got one more question, and I'll let Mike jump in. But, you've been a phenom since a very early age. I remember seeing you play, and the path forward was pretty predictable by a lot of people. At the time when you started, that was MLL days. That was the Team 91 squad. That was the Joey Spallina being the ball boy, and you making your way through the ranks. And then the PLL comes. You already jumped sort of what most people your age would do and having to go with Team USA. What do you want your professional lacrosse career to be?
I just want to enjoy every last second of it. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to keep playing. Not everyone can keep playing after college, so I'm going to, take advantage of it. And I just want to win. And have and make memories. That's all you really can ask for, is winning and making memories. Obviously, good memories come with winning. So,
Oh yeah, man. I mean, for me, I'm always trying to get advice from you guys on how you approach things. This win probably felt really good, right? Like, what was the last time the last win you had was at Duke, right? This is your first win since Duke.
yeah.
So the win feel good. What's your mindset when getting ready for games? What's your routine? Walk me through just like your psychology and get ready for a game.
I try to lighten up a little bit. Obviously, you want to be focused, but there's a balance, because I think if you're too in your own head, you don't think about what the other guys have to do, which allows you to play as a team. So I think you got to be focused, but at the same time, communicating with each other in the locker room. You want to hash out any questions, so on the field you just stop thinking. So I just like to listen to music, get pumped up a little bit, not focus too much on the game, but address what needs to be addressed.
So communicating is a big piece too, like hashing out before the game, so you guys just know where you're all squared out.
Well, obviously defenses are going to do something a little different, so you might have to talk it through. But just like knowing where each other is going to be on the field, talking through what you'd like to accomplish that game, help going forward.
Have you ever played with Sam Hanley before?
No, I've only played against him.
You guys look like you had like a vibe already set. Was that building from last week, or is it because you guys have watched each other's tape and sort of admired?
No, he's a great dude, and obviously played against him all the time, so it's cool to play with him. And we just get along, and everyone in the locker room gets along, but yeah, we just get along and play with each other. He's a big body, he draws a lot of attention, but he's great at doing that and making plays off of it, so it's pretty easy to play around that, and he plays around me too very well, so it just happens.
Man, it was a fresh look seeing all the young guys, Jack Myers, Awada, you, Sam Hanley, even Bundy Jr. He told me that was his first around the world shot he's ever attempted, and that was his first rookie goal. I gotta say, I've personally never seen a rookie score their first goal around the world. You teaching them that in practice?
Yeah, that was definitely a juice goal. I mean, that happens. Big game, sometimes you think less, and he just made the play in front of him.
Was there anything that was said? Because you guys were down, but we were down by like 7 at one point. Was there anything said by you? Because you look like you kind of just put the team on your back, or maybe it was Manley or a coach. Was there anything said in the huddle that brought you guys back, that just like you guys just like took over the game and stole the momentum?
No, yeah, I don't think we changed anything as the vibes are. Like, and it was the same as it was at the beginning of the game. I think that kind of helped us. We didn't think too much about it. We strung together a couple goals, and in this league, anything can really happen with the players you have on the field. So you look at the clock, and all of a sudden you're down by 2 or 3, and you just keep playing.
I saw after his first goal, Will Haas came out here to take a wing, and he looked over and he's like, keep it up. Maybe a little bit more vulgarity, but that was that leadership push for the young gun.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
You crushed it, man.
Thank
Proud
you.
of you.
Congrats. First dub.
Yep, first
A lot
dub.
of goals of many.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, man. Great
Thanks
job,
for having
man.
me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining.
Live questions. Second week in a row doing that. Next week, I think we'll revert back to dial-in, so make sure you give us a call and ask us any question you want. Mike and I are here for that, to continue to build a deeper, more connected relationship with the fans of lacrosse and the fans of the PLL. Mike, when you leave North Carolina, you're going back to San Diego?
Going back, but I'll miss it here. I was just telling a couple people that I was talking to, our partners over at Champion that are Winston-Salem based. I was like, should we move our headquarters here? I mean, the fans here are amazing. Lacrosse is growing. North Carolina is a great place to run a business.
Yeah, we had our parents here, our family here.
Yeah.
Winston-Salem, homegrown.
Just move everything here.
Let's move it all here,
Yeah, get out of New York, man.
Well, after this, or I should say this coming week, we have Philadelphia and then a league-wide bye.
Yep.
And then we get back into it. Before we know it, we're going to be halfway through the season at the All-Star game in Louisville. How do you slow things down mentally and stay the course and get ready for the next one?
I mean, I actually try to learn and take advice from a lot of these guys. I mean, if you get to be around the best in the world at what they do, these are the best lacrosse players in the world. So that's what I was asking Brennan O'Neill about his psychology before a game. I'm just like trying to understand. And he sort of like stay loose, and a lot of communication is what I pulled from that. And like same thing that we do. I mean, we talked about this last night at the league. We have to run the front office, operate the teams, put on game day, and then go do it again. Whereas if you're a typical trade association, if you're the NBA, you're kind of hanging out while the teams operate it. And so for us, it's a similar mentality of just like getting back to work. And then what we like to do is we try to do postmortems really quickly on Tuesday, all hands, leadership, have honest debate, collaborative debate around what we can do to get better, and then go get better, right? And so, tying some threads to what Brennan talked about is a lot of communication. I think it's something we try to replicate.
Well, I think they're going to shut the lights out on us, but one more plug has just occurred to me while we're sitting here, that last week the New York Atlas homestand turned out. They went 2-0. The Carolina Chaos start this weekend 1-0. We're recording this late on Friday night. We're going to find out if they finish 2-0. So the homestands are proving to be really valuable to these teams. But what we saw tonight with Brennan O'Neill and the Denver Outlaws upsetting the Utah Archers in overtime, a throwback game taking us to 11 o'clock at night, is that when you show up to support your home team throughout this season, you're also going to be blessed with 2 other games where the home team is not playing, and you might see an iconic performance like we did here with Brennan O'Neill. So God bless everyone who came. I hope you get that enjoyment out of seeing Carolina play tomorrow, but also the whips and the cannons that will follow. I guarantee you that's going to be a good one too.
Friday night lights, Saturday night lights. Let's go.
Let's go.
See you, everybody.